It is officially time for one of the best Halo missions, but also one of the best missions in this game, 343 Guilty Spart. While we load in, I did want to mention, if you guys do end up liking this video and you guys want to see some more of this type of content from me, I upload pretty much every single day. Drop a sub, and if you guys do end up liking this video, drop a like. I did that a little bit backwards. So something you're immediately going to notice is that this level's tone has such a different feel to it than prior levels of this game. Also just has a different feel than every other level. So I did say that this video was going to be sort of comparing and contrasting the OG to the anniversary, because the remake, we don't know what this level looks like yet. So, but as you can see, it's very foggy, it's nice and dark, there's a little bit of lighting and stuff obviously, but nothing too crazy. But when we swap it over to anniversary, I mean, you can already see a very steep difference. Now, one thing that I will say that I like about anniversary compared to the original, I like that it looks jungly. Is that the word? I like all of the new grass. I like these plants having these like glowing bulbuses on them. I like that, but I like the tone that this part sets up a little bit more. There's the downed dropship and some of the Covenant like crate things. So I think this will be a pretty good idea for the anniversary thing. You could see all the way over to there, right? Whereas in the original you can't. So obviously now we're at this iconic shot where these Covenant are running away, and normally you would assume like, oh, it's you know, it's some UNSC forces and stuff, right? But there's nothing here. So this is going to be another tone thing. Look how brightly lit this area is in anniversary compared to the original. Especially when you look down, you can actually like see. So that's another thing that the anniversary does. What I think is incorrect, but I'm sure that there was a lot of reasoning behind it. Okay, so this is going to be the first instance of something existing in OG, but not existing in anniversary, at least not to the same extent. So in OG, you can see these green like dot things dropping out of the ceiling and into this little spot right here, and they're green. So you've never seen this, because obviously Covenant blood is blue, and this is not that. This is a completely new shade of color, and it's very creepy because it's just coming out of a massive hole in the ceiling. Also, some sort of like containment device looking thing here, and obviously an anniversary. I mean, it's still there, but I don't know. I don't hate the light. I don't hate the light, but I think that seeing this as opposed to this is much better. Also, as you can see in OG, there's spots everywhere, and they continuously do that. But in anniversary, I mean, it's just a couple little splotches, and then you can kind of see the droplets hitting the ground, but you see what I mean? Like, you can't really see. You have to really focus on the drops, whereas in OG, they're very prominent and they immediately catch your eye. I think that's another really good thing that they did. So this is going to be another tone thing. I think that anniversary does it fine. So I actually don't have any complaints about this. As you can see, there's basically no difference. In here, however, is where you get a very large difference. So you see at the top of the door, there's these little green things dropping onto this. And you might also be wondering, like, why is this here? In an anniversary, you would have no idea to walk up and maybe jump to see what's in there, because there's no blood on the wall. Like, why would these be here? That seems really random. And then you go into OG graphics and you see bullet holes on the wall that aren't there, and blood that's also not there, and a lot of it at that. I mean, look how much blood there is, right? Compared to the anniversary edition that has no blood at all. Look at all that blood. And once again, this is appearing on the ground. The flood, little spores that are hitting the ground are actually appearing on the ground, whereas in anniversary it just barely trickles down and doesn't leave any residue. In OG, it trickles down more often, but also it splotches and leaves it on the ground. So I think that's another nice little detail. Now, right here, I actually really like this lighting in OG compared to anniversary. The ominous feeling you get from the OG is just, it's really nice. It adds to the mystery. So once again, you can see blood on the ground that just isn't there in anniversary. And I mean, that's just kind of an anniversary issue of not really having blood in certain areas. Oh, here's the very famous Marine. This is kind of, I feel like, everyone's first idea of something isn't right here. Clearly something is not okay here, and I think this room really insinuates that in the OG. We're gonna look at this area in Anniversary, and I'll tell you some positives that I like. There's blood. I'll give you that. There's a lot of blood. I mean, look at all this blood, right? So much blood. There's all these little spots for like explosions, and you can see the glass is shattered, but you see this ominous green hue, and I like that. I do like that. I like that a lot. Even in the OG, there isn't any of that green hue. I don't dislike that. I like the OG because of, once again, there's a lot of blood. I mean, look at how much blood there is, right? And I'll say that this is an area that isn't done poorly in Anniversary, but I will say this sort of green fog kind of, I don't know, it does kind of get rid of some of the suspense, I suppose, as compared to here, but I don't dislike it. I do quite like this. I think that this is one of the most iconic cutscenes in Halo, in gaming. I mean, this is a really good cutscene. It hasn't aged a minute either. I mean, this is a cutscene that is timeless.
Watch your mouth, son. This stuff is your history. It should remind you grunts what we're fighting to protect.
Hey, if the Covenant want to wipe out this particular part of my history, that's fine by me. Yeah, better it than us.
You ask them real nice next time you see them, Vicente. I'm sure they'll be happy to oblige.
LZ looks clear. I'm bringing us down.
Go, go, go! Stay close, Jenkins. Mendoza, move it up! Wait here for the captain and his squad, then get your ass inside. Sir. Okay, let's move!
Which is weird, right? I mean, look at it. Something scrambled the insides.
What's that? Plasma scoring?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was an accident, you know, friendly fire or something?
What do we have, Sergeant? Looks like a Covenant patrol. Badass elite units. All KIA.
Real pretty. Friend of yours?
Nah, we just met.
I'm pretty sure this is the cutscene that in Anniversary, Keyes is wearing his like normal outfit he had on the Pillar of Autumn as opposed to the sort of like combat attire that he's wearing now. I think that this is the cutscene that you see that if you do play it in Anniversary, which I think is really strange.
Got a bad feeling about this.
Boy, you always got a bad feeling about something.
Sarge, can you hear me? He's got contact. Blast them. But they're not Covenant. They're just tearing through us. What the? Oh, no!
Corporal, do you copy? Over. Mendoza, get your ass back up to second squad's position and find out what the hell is going on. I don't have time for your lip, soldier. I gave you an order.
Sarge, listen.
Where's that coming from, Mendoza?
I don't... There! Mira!
And the first instance of seeing the flood in Halo. What an iconic cutscene. I did end up seeing that Code Vein 2 ended up posting a new video. I believe it's another one of the character trailers. I've said before, man, that game is going to be incredible. I'm definitely going to be doing a series on Code Vein 2 when it comes out. I've mentioned that before. I don't care if the demand isn't there. I'm going to adore that game. I'm going to upload it for myself. But yeah, I mean, that game looks incredible. The cutscenes that they show off, the gameplay that they've shown so far, the characters, and everything about that game just really is, it's just something insane. I'm just really happy that we're getting Code Vein content. I basically gave up on the idea of a sequel pretty much after I finished the first game because of the ending that it has, where it links itself to God Eater. I didn't think that a sequel would be happening, also just from the standpoint of, like, it's not that it sold poorly, but it didn't sell what I would have considered enough to get a sequel greenlit, I guess, is kind of like the way that I would put it. I also saw, admittedly, some other discourse and stuff about the new Final Fantasy VII gacha game or whatever with Nier. So I'm gonna say this as someone that adores Nier and hates the Final Fantasy VII fandom because they prove time and time again that they are the worst of the Final Fantasy fans. I hate that fandom with every fiber of my being. They don't understand Kaine's character. For context, Kaine is intersex, and a large part of her character comes from that. It comes from her being intersex. So I saw a bunch of Final Fantasy VII fans saying that she's a goon character because she wears lingerie or some shit. Also, that she's certain words I will refrain from repeating as I cannot say them. Basically, they were calling her slurs. So, as if I couldn't hate the Final Fantasy VII fandom more, that proved it in itself that I absolutely can. I hate that fandom, and I will never, I don't think I'll ever like that fandom. Also, just want to mention this. I hate the term Gooner game when it's very clearly just not used properly. Also, I think the term is just cringe to begin with, but yeah, I hate that term, but seeing that shit on my timeline earlier and also yesterday really pissed me off, because, like, if you're gonna mischaracterize Kaine of all characters, you could do it correctly. Like, at least know what you're talking about instead of being wrong and then just resorting to slurs. I don't know. It's a very childish mindset to just do that. If that game shuts down in a month, I would unironically be happier then than I am now. And I'm not saying that because I want the devs to lose their job or I want the game to go and basically just be gone, but I'm saying that because the Final Fantasy VII fandom literally does not deserve it. I remember when Final Fantasy 16 was coming out, and I just saw a bunch of Final Fantasy VII fans just sitting there ripping on it because it wasn't Final Fantasy VII. Like, I don't know. That stuff just really irked me. Because, like, it's not enough that you're mischaracterizing one of the most well-written characters in the Nier franchise as a whole. It's that you resorted to doing, like, the whole thing with the slurs and whatnot. Like, I think that shit is beyond cringe. In more positive news, because I could rant about that shit for literally hours. That shit genuinely pissed me off. But I've been seeing really good things about Enfield still. Like, even, I think it's been 3 or 4 days now since the playtest started, but I've seen nothing but positive about it, and it looks so good too. Obviously, there's some people that are trying to gatekeep it, and the thing is, you can't gatekeep a game like this. Like, I understand that Arknight fans might want it to be their own thing, and I get it, but if you really genuinely think that it was going to be a niche game, I mean, you're just wrong. Like, there really is no other way to put it. Actually, this is the first time we get to use the Halo CE shotgun. This thing is a beast. It's my favorite Halo shotgun. I think Reaches is my second favorite, but man, this thing packs a fucking punch, especially against Flood. All right, so this part of the mission is tied to, okay, there they are. So these Sentinels are what end this mission. So the way that this works is they die, and that's when the mission ends. So we can literally just sit in this corner and wait. We don't need to interact. We don't need to do anything. As long as the Sentinels die, the mission will end. There you go. And with that, that is 343 Guilty Spark done. This is one of the best Halo missions ever. I mean, this is such a great mission. It's iconic. It's terrifying, but it's also the start of one of the most interesting, I guess, like, sort of side stories that takes place within this game. Now, under other circumstances, I would say, sure, let's record the library, but no. I'm not going to be recording the library. This mission I'm not going to be playing with the intent that I want to be talking during it. Every person that plays this game can collectively tell you that this mission is awful. It is an attrition war. It's a marathon. It's a mess. So I'm going to be doing this and 2 betrayals in my own time. So the next video you see from me is going to be on the Maw. I wanted to use this video as sort of a mix between my normal content where I'm just talking about shit and comparing the anniversary to the original. I kind of got sidetracked like halfway through it, but that's basically where all of my comparisons would have ended anyway. I mean, there really isn't much else to talk about because you're just backtracking. So anyway, I might end up taking a little bit of a break after Halo 1 or maybe even after this video. So if you see some different videos, you know, there you go. The next Halo video, however, will definitely be through the Maw. So if you're only really here for Halo, I mean, you can wait. I will eventually get to the Maw though. Don't worry. I will be doing that, but I might take a little bit of a break. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy this video, drop a like down below. And if you guys want to see some more of this type of content from me, I upload pretty much every single day. Drop a sub. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all later.